Hi, Namaste. Welcome to ITTV. Now we are at CAW studio, and Karthik is here, the CEO of CAW. So, very interesting thing in this office I observed once I entered the work environment. So, we will ask the philosophy and logic behind this environment and also the vision of CAW studio. Hi, sir. So, why you made this environment such a beautiful or entertainment like very peaceful kind of work environment is here? Is there any logic behind this?
Sure. At CAW Studios, our main mission is that we own and run engineering for other startups. Our clients are startups. These startups are building new age products with experiences with the UX, with UI, which is much more modern. So we wanted our engineers to be also working in an environment which is also very inspired, very design focused, right? Everything they touch and feel, every element that they interact in office should also speak of a modern or contemporary design, right? And that automatically translates or inspires when they are building the product. So that was predominantly the philosophy. We always believe that whatever environment you sit in, whatever surrounds you, directly impacts your quality of your work or the outcome of your work as well. So that is why it's important that the environment that you're sitting in also has certain vibes that can inspire you to do great work. So yeah, that was the philosophy.
Environment definitely give an impact on productivity.
Right.
So, what is basically CAW studio, and what is the vision and what is the logic behind this?
So we started CAW Studios back in 2017 as a premium product engineering company. We saw a gap that there were a lot of startups, that a lot of founders, new age founders who were starting up, but they were finding it difficult to work with the IT services companies of India to build products. So that's where we saw the gap, and we built CAW Studios as a product engineering company. Our basic mission is, like I said in the beginning, is we own and run engineering for other startups, right? We generally start working with the founder when the idea is on paper. We develop the MVP, and then we work on the subsequent versions as well. So we started back in 2017 with one startup and 5 engineers, and today we are about 150 engineers, and we power engineering for about 16 startups. Right? Many of these startups started with us when they were idea on papers. They've gone on to raise Series A. In fact, one of them raised Series B, and we still predominantly run their engineering. So yeah, that's what we are.
You chosen really the problem statement where there is a gap. Definitely, for any startup, maintaining the engineering division is very challenging thing. So you taken that problem statement and helping the so many startups. That's really wonderful. So, what is your vision? Do you want to expand all over the globe or want to help only the startups in India?
So we are already working with startups all around the globe as well. Though majorly we are focused on India, but we have startups around the world. We've been growing quite fast, especially in the last 2 years. And as the startup ecosystem matures and more startups come into the Bing, we automatically have our market also expands, right? So currently our focus is to work with more and more startups across the globe, and ultimately we hope to become next big. So India is always known for big services companies like Infosys, TCS, Wipros. We want to also be the biggest company when it comes to building products as well, right? So that's our vision.
One last question, because most of the startups will get the inspiration. So till now, what's your achievements? Of course, you grown up, but what you consider as an achievement?
So, see, the achievement, there are multiple of them, right? One of the biggest we feel is the kind of products we've been working on. We started with small products, now we've been working on really complex products, which from day one expect 5 to 10 million active users a month, right? And we've built products that can scale to that extent right from day one. That's over time we have built that kind of capabilities, and we've been delivering this over and over again, right? Even growing from 5 engineers to 150 engineers in such a short time has been a big achievement for this company. We have attracted good talent. We've been able to retain them. We have a very low attrition rate. So yeah, we have a very good culture, open culture. Now we do not micromanage people. We give them a lot of freedom, and that's why we've been so successful. So yeah, we've done good on culture front, on people front, on technical excellence front. So that's what makes us.
One more last is startups from which categories can approach you who need their engineering solutions from any category, or is there any limitation, or particularly for which category this will helps a lot?
Right. So we are pretty much category agnostic. Any startup from any category or background can approach us. We predominantly focus on startups which are building, which are trying to solve larger, harder problem, and there is an element of scale, either a lot of users or a lot of data, or say volume of transactions. So scale is an important element for us, which excites us to work on a problem. But as such, category-wise, we are agnostic. However, we've worked a lot with fintech. We have worked with cybersecurity. We have worked in prop tech, productivity, market tech, HR tech. Yeah, we've worked with all categories of startups until now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing the information. So this is all about CAW Studio and from the Karthik. So the people, startups who are facing the challenges in their engineering departments can approach Karthik or CAW Studio to overcome those challenges. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hi. Here Abhinav Gupta, startup mentor, investor, and he played many roles in startup ecosystem. Now he is with us, and we are at CAW Studio. We will ask him how he is working for the startups. Hi, Abhinav.
Hi.
So, how you are working with these startups?
I think 2-3 ways, right? One, working with them as a mentor to kind of bring them in any stages to the next stage, right? Other way to look at it is to kind of get them the access, connects, projects, whatever is required, right? Whatever little that I can do from my part, right? I should be able to do that. The third is great connects in the investor community, whether it's the angel investor community, VC funds all around the world. So in case if some startup is good enough and trying to kind of trying to solve a particular problem, I'm trying to help them, whether it is investments. I'm myself an investor, invested in quite a few of them. So those are the top three. But then apart from that, right, I mean, to me, like when I'm speaking to some of these young chaps, right, I mean, it's really like, takes me back in flashback 20 years back when I started my
Shall
thing.
we invite some of you?
Yeah, sure. Abhishek, yeah.
Hi, Abhishek.
Hi.
So, why you started your journey along with the startup and your relation with Abhinav? How you are getting inputs and how you are utilizing the whole?
See, the whole idea of joining a startup was to learn. Honestly, if I am a part of a big firm, right, I get small tasks to be done, and it's also is for a longer trend, as in I'm doing the same thing. So over a period of time, it becomes so monotonous, very compact in learning, and expectation also is something that what we have is time. I totally believe with that. So the time that I have right now, if I join in a startup, I definitely see potential in my managers who will want me to work on different domains. So I get the exposure to learn a lot. I get the exposure to meet people like Abhinav sir. So had I not been into CAW Studios, I wouldn't have got the opportunity to meet in the first place. So that is one key thing of being
How
at
long
Core.
you are working here?
So it's been pretty recent actually. It's just been 2 months. But in the 2 months, I would definitely say that I've learned so much that I've not learned in the past 1 year. That's a big statement to make, but it's honest. And moreover, from Abhinav sir coming, it's like I would say he has been mentoring us. We are very thankful that he gives us time to us, trying to teach us the very basics of not just product engineering, but how to make yourself presentable. It's like we know the things that will help us build a bot, right? But how to make a bot that impacts others, and only once it's impacting others is when it'll expand. People will like it. More users will come in. So that's the whole idea, and these are the things that we're learning from Abhinav sir, and which we are grateful for.
Basic role in CAW Studio?
So I am a conversation designer turned conversational AI consultant. So my primary job was to understand use cases, create bots, create experiences, and also draft in the responses that the bot gives. So once you're in, like, if you're an end user, right? So take it for example, you are trying to reach out to a customer support. Right now, you know that before even reaching to a human agent, there is a bot in between who tries to help you out. So now to make that bot able enough to understand what the human wants, and then how you're responding, it's like that response should not be robotic, it should be human like. That's when people will be interacted, so that's the thing that we're trying to build in.
So now everybody is not worrying about artificial intelligence. People who are working with artificial intelligence, you are going to be the reason.
See, I would tell you there's nothing to worry about, honestly. See, I'm too young to comment, yet I'll comment the fact that
I mean, I'll
AI
add
is
to it. Actually,
AI
I'll add
is
to it because I think we were discussing about the whole AI thing. Okay, the best example that I have for AI today is, while we were coming over here and I was just opened up my Google Maps and there was like a turn or whatever U-turn, right? The car started turning 360 degrees and it's like they don't know where to go, right? Ideally, there is built-in AI and all of that stuff that's out there, right? By large, any of these NLPs or voice recognition tools or all, very few of them have been able to pronounce my name properly. Sometimes it is Abhinay, sometimes it is Anubhav, sometimes it is Abhijit. I still feel that my name is Abhinav.
Yeah, it may take some time, but it started.
Yeah. So I think, jokes apart, but then I think AI has become such a big part of it, right? I mean, you can only embrace it now, okay? More that you get scared, okay? More, it's like that dog in that, the lonely street, right? Like if you get scared, right? So the dog is just going to bark at you, right? And then it's going to always go like, okay, da 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 da. But then at the end of the day, if you just and then I think, they understand it, like, okay, he's not going to make a mess out of it.
We should start playing with the AI.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think, one thing that I'm recently doing with a lot of these engineering grads, a lot of these startups that kind of teaching AI, okay? We have got a great AI company. I mean, my company itself is a great AI company, right? I'm extremely proud of, the work that I've done at AI. Data Labs has great stuff.
If we start talking about the AI, it will become a big section. Now, again, coming back to this startup environment, this is very interesting. So, what is your experience with this working space?
We are very free to explore things. We are not limited to a certain guideline that we need to come and follow. There's no set day-to-day activity. It's like when things come in, we pick it up from. I would rather like to say that if there is any topic that's come in, we are free to do our own research. We're free to come to conclusions and then reach out to our managers or support team.
That's brilliant.
So that's one thing that instills confidence in you that, okay, Abhishek, you're there to research, not just grasp things. Absolutely.
So, finally, where do you want to see yourself in coming years?
I want
grow
to
as a own entrepreneur, or do you want to grow?
I want to impact lives. If I had to give you something, we as in a human, I want to impact lives. I'm learning something. I'm in my learning phase. More of learning, more of experiencing, and then one day it'll be a time when, like Abhinav sir, maybe I'll be helping like a headlight for other people, for the younger generation. So that's how the light needs to be.
You have a great vision to impact many people. Shall we invite some of your colleagues?
Absolutely. I have Alan.
So, without having strict guidelines, how you are managing, how you are delivering your targets?
Right. So
how
I
is
think
that whole system?
I'll try to break this question down, right? I think our core philosophy of Core Studios in itself, you can see the entire building, you see that it's plastered on the walls. We are driven by these kind of quotes. We focus more on creativity, right? So we have that natural inflow of creativity which is driving our business, and we give our people that kind of freedom and leverage to actually have their own innate drive to drive businesses. So, which is actually a reflection of what is happening here. So, that's.
Yeah, but there is a possibility to distractions, but some people are playing, some people are enjoying with their chats. There is a possibility for the distraction also.
Work and play. That's what we do. The right balance of work and play, and it's something very unique in this ecosphere in India, right? We don't see that. Either companies are very structured and they're very frigid about how they work around with their employees, but we have a much more free atmosphere, and we give employees that kind of freedom.
Where are you from?
I'm from Kerala.
Kerala. So, so how long you have been in Hyderabad?
I've been in Hyderabad for the last 7 years, and I'll tell you, I feel more home in Hyderabad now.
Then Kerala?
Yeah, I've
Do you
received
get like the banana chips over there?
Yes, there are so many Kerala stores in Hyderabad. So we actually, there is no dearth of Kerala here. I celebrate Onam here. I celebrate Christmas as much as I celebrate here in Kerala. My parents visit me here. And I tell you, Hyderabad is a very underrated place. It's almost like the backbencher in our classroom, right? He is very friendly, he is easy to access, and he is the most creative in the field. So Hyderabad is almost like that. And I can tell you one thing that really drives me in India, when I look at the entire IT sector in India, right? One man who's actually driving business in India is KTR. He goes around countries, he brings businesses on and off, he talks to people. So I don't see that kind of vision in any other state in India, which is something that actually, as a person, which actually...
100%.
Yeah, that's true. That's we can see. So one more thing, you can work either big giants in TCS, Infosys, and such kind of companies, because multiple opportunities are there. So why you started your career in startup, or otherwise why you are working here? What made you?
Feel, so today I'm wearing a Bengali Punjabi, and this jeans is actually torn from a bike accident that I had, and a very casual chappals, right? So this is the freedom that I want in my life, and it actually reflects on my own life also. I want to carry that work ethic in my own profession, and Core Studios has always been good in giving me that. I mean, I'm able to drive things from first principle thinking, like how Elon Musk thinks. I'm able to bring that here.
I have a question, sorry.
Thank you.
So I have a question. So you talked about first principle. Do you read blogs?
Yeah.
So you should read a couple of great blogs that have been written by everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, on first principle.
Definitely. I will.
Okay. No, jokes apart, I think what I'm trying to ask as a question to you is compared to Bangalore and Hyderabad, right? Why Hyderabad? Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, why don't we see a lot of Allens and a lot of Abhisheks in Hyderabad, man? I mean, what's stopping like the other Abhisheks and the other Allens to kind of come down
Right.
to Hyderabad, man?
I want to break this question down.
Okay.
Why Bangalore? Why people prefer Bangalore? Primarily, I think it's the weather. A lot of people are very comfortable in cozy weather. So generally, people from north and south prefer Bangalore for that. But I would still want to say Hyderabad is massively underrated, right? Except for those 4 months of summer, Hyderabad is the best place. I still feel that there is a lot of fad that has come into the tech space, right? Where a lot of tech bros talk about a lot of equations, but at the end of the day, the real people who drive businesses are the people who are in Hyderabad, right? We see that. We see that here, core people who are on the ground working and melding it out. That's only Hyderabadis, I'm telling you.
So finally, what is your message to the people who want to start their career or begin their career in IT industry? Do you suggest them to prefer a startup, or do you suggest them a big giants?
Totally.
Or it depends
See,
on their attitude. How do you?
Totally depends on the person. So, for example, for me, I would still want a lot of freedom and creativity. I would always prefer a startup. But then, if you're very structured and if you're somebody who wants a lot of stability, like maybe you have to look for a corporate kind of, very on-the-press kind of job. But at the end of the day, it also comes down. After 2 months, 3 months, right, are you going to get saturated with that job? That is also something that you have to look. So 1 year on, you have to see yourself in that place and see, are you happy in that job, or are you just earning living for the bread and butter. So that's my thing.
Finally, one more question. What is CAW Studio? How you are going to help the business communities or startups?
So CAW is a product engineering company. We run core engineering for startups, core products, right? So you're not looking at very simple web apps and things like that, right? We are looking to solve real world problems with code. So that is what we are doing, and we have solved a lot of problems. So we work for major clients like Airchain, then we are now having Celito, Hoichoi, all these clients. They come to us for a reason, and the true reason is something that you have to come into office and maybe explore.
So, people who have a real problems, they can directly approach CAW Studio. They are here to solve the complex real challenges and problem statements. Thank you for sharing your message to the people, and also your confidence about your company, and also your company reached a mid-level, and we are expecting it is going to give a big impact.
We are sure of that.
Thank you all.
I think, one of my final messages to all the students especially, and, the people who have just started their jobs, right? I think, there's like this a whole set of fighting that has been going around in the country with the big tech companies like Google's, Amazon's, and, the worlds of Apple, and everyone have kind of fired people left, right, and center, and especially with, that's not a news actually anymore. And I think, in case if you're looking for an opportunity, we have all these great opportunities, great companies over here in Hyderabad and in Bangalore or any part of the world, right? Please reach out. Please don't feel like, oh, what would happen if I reach out, right? Prepare yourself well. Take participations in a lot of hackathons. There are a lot of these hackathons that are freely available on Startup India's website, DRDO's website, this and that, right? When they're like a zillion. And if you don't know where to reach out, please drop me or drop Alan or drop Abhishek or any one of us like a small LinkedIn or a Twitter message. We shall get back to you as soon as possible, so that we can give you a problem that we've been working on. We have like so many problems, right, that we are actually working on. So I think it'll be a great experience for you. And I think, one of the biggest thing that I would like to add is like Hyderabad has one of the biggest training centers in the world, I think, if I'm making the right statement, which is Amirpet Institute of Technology, okay? Wherein if you just go to Amirpet, I mean, you will understand like how many trainers and how many students from all over the country come in to kind of learn software technology and so on and so forth, right? So I would like to even invite the training companies that instead of you training people, give them capstone projects, give them real world problems, give them an opportunity to work with people like Alan, myself, all of these great people, right? And so that your students, once they're gone out of your institute, they can actually be useful to the IT industry overall and make India a better place, right? So that's my message. I mean, guys, anything you want to add on top of what I said?
Definitely, sir. For people who are starting off, right, I would really suggest you to reach out to people, network, right? Create an ecosystem, create a community, right? Let's drive sustainable businesses. I mean, Hyderabad is somewhere we can actually build sustainable businesses. We don't want those kind of tech bubbles where people are getting laid off, right? We want core, fundamentally strong businesses that are driving value and revenue for everyone.
Sure. Abhishek, you want to add something more?
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm really happy.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.